Alrighty guys, this is Snugsonblitz, and I must say, Droodles absolutely nailed it. I don't watch most of Droodles' videos. I sometimes just pop on over and get his thoughts quickly on a new tank or some new info about the game. But he put out a video the other day that I think everybody should go and check out. And I'm going to talk a little bit about it, and you're going to watch two games I had in the Borsig. Both are pretty fun. Will I win them both? Well, you'll just have to wait and see. But they are entertaining. Anyway, the video was put out, I believe, on June 10th or thereabouts, and it's entitled, "If You Think Damage is More Important Than Winning, You Don't Understand Blitz." And I've had this argument myself with many players. He states in the video that he was talking or platooning with somebody in Europe, and they spent a good 2 hours arguing about that issue, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 3. I myself have had numerous discussions on my YouTube channel, as well as in the game, where people say damage is everything in this game. Damage is important, of course, but I've had games where I've only done, 600, 1,000 damage, and yet I was instrumental in the win. Sometimes it was getting a base cap. Sometimes it was simply distracting one tank. Sometimes it's bouncing shells. Other times it's actually taking damage for your teammates. Keeping a teammate alive sometimes can be the difference between winning and losing the game. Not always the case. Sometimes they're just too far gone. There's nothing you can do to help them. I've pushed in sometimes to try and help people stay alive, and ended up going down in the ball of flames. But I'm a big believer in trying my best to keep my teammates alive, because I believe that makes it easier for all of us. The thing is, I know a lot of pros, 60%ers or 65%ers, who don't want to go frontline sometimes. They just want to sit back and snipe. That's a problem, because they don't want to do the nitty-gritty work of taking hits, spotting. They just want to let other people do that. The problem is, why do I want to take all the hits? I would like to have a big game too. How about we work together? We both spot. We move in together, rather than you sacrificing me 100% so that you can have a big game. To me, I don't care about a big game. It's nice to have. It's impressive on the screen. But who cares? This game is supposedly a 7v7 game. That means it's a team game. It's not a me game, it's a team game. 7 people working together as best they can to defeat the enemy team that's trying to do the same. Am I saying that damage is not important? Absolutely not. Of course it's important to a certain extent. But the goal of this game is not to have 4K, 5K, 6K games, although they are impressive. The goal is to win the game. And I don't care how I win. I just want to win. That's my main goal. And if I can have a good game in the process, great. But if I played well, despite not doing much damage, I'm more than satisfied. There was this one game many years ago. It's Falls Creek, the old Falls Creek. Sure, I'd love to see that back in the game. I looked at the lineup. I was playing a lower tier game, and I was like, we are so dead, because they had so much armor and we didn't. We would not be able to pen most of their tanks. I didn't use gold shells at the time, it was way back when. But I knew that we would be totally screwed, because their guns would just rip right through us, and we would struggle to pen them, all of us. So I was like, the best strategy I have in this game is to get the base. That's it. So I just ran to get the base. That was it. I didn't fire a single shot in the entire game. I just sat in the base. My entire team got obliterated. They did, next to no damage. But we won the game because I sat in the base. Cheesy? Well, no. I mean, the goal is to win the game. There is a base for a reason. Yes, damage is nice. Of course, it feels good to inflict, all this damage and go, woohoo, I'm such an awesome player. But sometimes you may be in a tank up against tanks that are really hard to pen. You didn't load gold shells, for example, and you're really struggling. So what's your best strategy? To keep firing shells that keep bouncing? No. Get a base, or get the base, depending on which mode you're playing. One of the things you might not know about me is I like the NBA. I've always enjoyed basketball, playing it and watching it. Recently, the NBA's gotten a bit weird, but about 10 years ago, you had LeBron James and Stephen Curry lighting up the league. Awesome. Going back even further, Kobe Bryant's games. Amazing. Before that, of course, the man himself, Michael Jordan. And going back even further, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. I mean, some amazing gameplay you can check out on YouTube. I love watching great games, classic games, intense. But one person I like to think about, of course, is Michael Jordan and what he can teach us about Blitz. When Michael Jordan first entered the league, he averaged 36.3 points a game, if I'm not mistaken. Incredible, unheard of, dominating performances. Nobody could stop him. And yet, the Chicago Bulls kind of stunk. They would make the playoffs, and Michael Jordan went on to have the highest scoring playoff record ever. 63 points against the Boston Celtics in 1986, if I'm not mistaken. Incredible. But it wasn't until Jordan started trusting his teammates that Chicago Bulls went from being a good team with a great player, or maybe an okay team with a great player, to a very strong team. The addition of Scottie Pippen, who ended up becoming one of the top 50 greatest players in NBA history way back when, and Horace Grant and a few other supporting cast members, did his team go from not in contention to one of the best teams in the league. And finally, in 1991, Jordan broke through and he won a championship. That's what you're after. You're after the win, not the individual accolades. Michael Jordan had the MVP award, the Defensive Player of the League, all sorts of incredible things. But his team wasn't winning. When Michael Jordan learned to share the load, his team went from good to great. And that's why I'm saying Droodles absolutely nailed it. The damage is not the most important thing in Blitz. It does help. There's no doubt about that, though. A huge thank you goes out to my Patreons. These wonderful people help keep the lights on over here, which allow me to keep making videos for you. If you'd like to donate to the channel and see this channel grow, you can check the links in the description below. You can send over a one-time donation if you like, or become a Patreon where I can help you become a better tanker. There are 3 different levels available, so take a look, and if you have any questions, let me know. Anyway, back to our regular scheduled programming. What do you think, though? Do you think I'm full of crap? Do you think Droodles is out of his mind? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you next time. Snugsonblitz, out.